morning, everybody. It's really a privilege and a pleasure to be here and to make some remarks about how we could best utilize complexity management to foster innovation in Europe. One of the underpinning dilemma in doing something about innovation is that there is a vast misunderstanding what innovation is. Many people believe innovation is education, invention, discovery, or translation. And we all agree innovation at the end of the day is really the process to bringing ideas, concepts, and services back to the people, to the customers, or in healthcare, to the patients. And there's another important element which never is enough discussed in the context with innovation. It is the pivotal role of the entrepreneur. So I'd just like to take one quote from Schumpeter. He is describing the entrepreneur in the context of innovation. The entrepreneur drives economy by combining technology in new ways, creating new opportunities, new markets, new economic values, and the eagerness of millions of people as consumers or patients seeking to improve their lives. So the role of the entrepreneur is somehow, to my opinion, underestimated in the process to drive innovation. Just to give you an example in comparing the old and the new continent, if you take all innovative companies in Europe and the United States and you look at their age, you will find out that only 2% of innovative companies, big ones like Siemens or small ones, whatever you name, only 2% in Europe have been set up in the last 25 years, while in the United States this is 20%. And if you just look at the names, many of the young generation would believe in Europe that Nobel, Reuters, Siemens, Ferrari, they are just fancy brand names. In reality, they have been university absolvents who came out of the universities and they were setting up companies which I think luckily are still alive. Much more easy is to understand that Herb Boyer, the founder of Genentech, or Zuckerberg, or Bill Gates is a kind of a reality of, I think, contemporary great entrepreneurs. So what could we do about this? And we have been taking an approach which has been backed up by the Commission in Brussels in setting up the European Institute of Innovation and Technology, which has been only starting its activity in fall 2008. And what we are trying to do is to bring together business, research, higher education in the knowledge triangle and putting the entrepreneur into the center of our activities. Our maxims, our rules we like to follow is place ownership, accountability, and risk-taking in the center. Overcome the unfaithful silo mentality within countries in Europe and between the countries. You may have a good venture capitalist in one country and a top-class university in the others, but they don't talk to each other. Create ecosystems where they're coming together, they're learning together, and they're also achieving innovation for the customers and the society. And I think, again, with the entrepreneur at the helm. And the other important rule we are following, only to be a catalyst. Don't give too much public money. We only give seed money to build those ecosystems. So what are those ecosystems? They have a typical Brussels acronym. They are called KIC, Knowledge and Innovation Communities. People who know me, I prefer them to call them innovation factories. What are they? There are 4 or 5 hubs in Europe joined on one topic. The topic could be computing and telecommunication, climate changes, or sustainable energy. They have as partners big industry, small industry, venture partners, top-class universities, but also cities, which sometimes are very interesting test beds to try new things for the society. And the most important thing, coming to management, they are run by a CEO and they are following a business plan. So in this only 3.5 years since we became operational, we have been implementing the first 3 innovation factories, and we have been really only seeding them with 25% up to this stage. It's a young experiment, it's very entrepreneurial, and I don't think this is already a complete success, but at least we have tangible results. We have indeed established 17 hubs in Europe, interconnected in 3 KICs. We have invested 300 million euros, which has been indeed counter-financed by 1.1 billion from other sources, including industry. Students, to change their mindset, have gone into new training programs, not only educating them in their specialty, let's say climate mitigation, but also opening their awareness and the mindset towards entrepreneurship. So we are very pleased that the European politics and the Commission, the Parliament, and I think also, of course, the Member States are backing up this entrepreneurial approach of the EIT, and we have for the next 6 years the perspective to have 2.4 billion in building 6 other KICs. In the next year we will open KICs in healthy life and healthy aging and in raw materials, and then we will have KICs in 2016 on food for future and value manufacturing, and I think in 2018 on urban mobility. We have to manage those KICs, and I guess Richard would be deadly unhappy if I would leave here the rostrum without saying something to the topic of complexity management. The EIT, as a kind of a holding, will only function, I'm deeply convinced, if we learn to carefully manage to make smart investments into the KICs. The KICs, or the innovation factories, will only succeed if they learn to manage these complex networks which gets all the players of innovation together. The intra and entrepreneurs we like to breed in the KICs, they only will be successful with their startups or going back to big companies if they respect the value of managing and management skills. And last not least, it is very important that KIC partners, whether this is Siemens or a small biotech company, they only will be good partners if they are well managing themselves. However, as having been, and I'm an entrepreneur, there's a word of caution. We always need to strive a balance between entrepreneurial vision and, on the other hand, managerial skills. And it's not always going easy together. And I don't think there's a scientific answer where the borders are, but there's sometimes different stages in the lifestyle, in the lifeline of businesses where you get less entrepreneurial, but it is needed to become more managerial. I'd like to conclude with a quote of Peter Drucker to the topic I've been talking about, namely entrepreneurship and its importance. He stated, "Whenever you see a successful business, somebody made once a courageous decision." And I wish you all, to this topic, a wonderful meeting. It's a fantastic ambience, and I'm glad that the Industrial Association is supporting this conference. And I hope sitting today in the morning in the session to learn a lot more, also what I can take for my next future steps in helping to build up the EIT. Thank you so much.
Thank you.